here at the Montgomery Waters Meadow. Shrewsbury Town 0, Rochdale 0. I'm Richard Fletcher. Alongside me is Shrewsbury Town reporter and Shropshire Star reporter, Mr. Lewis Cox. Lewis, 0-0.
Yeah.
Wasn't the most entertaining of games. It's 1 goal in 4 games for Shrewsbury now.
Yeah.
What do you make of that this afternoon?
Well, my immediate thought is it was those that went to MK Dons last week, where Town were beaten so cruelly in the last minute. It was better. It was an improvement on last week. I thought Shrewsbury played better than they did at Stadium MK. I thought Rochdale a tougher opposition than MK Dons. We're sort of coming to the same conclusion, talking about the same things in a lack of cutting edge in the penalty box in the final third. And I think there are varying reasons towards that, regards to Town still being in the market for a centre forward, needing that final striker through the door. Hopefully, he can bring the goals. But there are also things to work on, I think, in the central midfield areas at the moment. We know there are injuries and players making their debuts today in midfield, but they don't look the most creative. Need that bit more tempo, drive, sort of ambition in the play.
Do you think that's what they're missing then? Do you think a lack of chances are being created because they need that kind of man in the number 10, the David Silva kind of role,
they're not
defences?
They don't buy the formation play at a 10. It's sort of a one deep midfielder. We saw Sean Goss play that today on his debut. I thought he did pretty well. Behind 2, I suppose, number 8 central midfielders that have to do a bit of both, bit of getting forward, bit of getting back. Dave Edwards is playing it. We saw Luke McCormick play it again today. The Chelsea loanee, who's showing flashes of ability, but he's got a lot to learn. He's playing his first senior football. I think today on his game, it could have been 2 or 3 or really. It wasn't a game that was lacking in chances. There weren't many, but there were certainly enough clear-cut chances. I certainly think of 2 for Shrewsbury Town. Perhaps they got lucky in the end with the goal that wasn't for Rochdale, that Callum Camp scored at the end, chalked off for offside. We got Rochdale saying that it wasn't offside, and then Sam Ricketts saying that it was offside. So I need to see that back to see, if Town got lucky or whatnot. It was nearly another sucker punch, but Town had 2 clear chances. To their strikers as well. Steve Morrison obviously was the striker that started alongside Sean Worley. He's flashed a header wide from a great cross delivery, and that should be nestled in the bottom corner. I think a man of Morrison's prowess in the air, he's got to send that header in. Instead he sends it across goal. Obviously Fajiri Okunbiri came on for Morrison, and then Faye's just put one wider the top angle, the top corner, when I think the keeper spilt one from Sean Worley, and it's just missed Dave Edwards. It's dropped to Faye in the box. You're thinking this is the moment, it's a difficult chance, bodies around him, tightish angle on his left foot, he's just slipped it wide of the top corner. That felt like the chance.
But talking of Sean Worley, half an hour in, Rochdale looked like they were dominating the ball, and that final 15 minutes of the first half, Shrewsbury get back into it. We've
definitely
really noticed a good partnership building between Ryan Giles and Sean Worley on that left-hand side, and that was kind of those 2 impressed throughout.
It was a tough, Sam Ricketts said this himself, it was a tough first 25, 30 minutes, and Rochdale looked good, looked what they are, a good side, a good passing side, much the better team on the day, to be honest. Shrewsbury looked passive, looked a bit disjointed, disorganised, lacking in what they were meant to be doing, but they certainly got to grips with it, I think, Town. And you, for that first half, you're right, it was all through Giles on the left wing back position, and Worley, he started as a striker, but sort of just a free roll to just whether he comes out to the left or right. He's for my money the best attacker at the club still, and he's got that magic in him to make something happen, and he's just like a slightly older, more experienced version of Giles, in that they're so fleet-footed, so quick. Draw fouls, get to the byline, and they were, but with Giles, and he's so young, so much promise, but with his inexperience, he's got great delivery. I've got to say, he's got a great left foot that puts in a good cross, but we got low crosses from the byline today that were just away from Morrison, where that's where they've got to improve. If Morrison's a body in the box, he's got to be hit, whether it's his head, which is what he's good at. He did it from a free kick later on, or his feet. The balls in have got to be accurate. They've got to serve Morrison. He's there for a purpose, to dominate in the air, because he's not going to, not able to do the other things in terms of running the channels and stuff like that. But you're right, that Town, for the 10 minutes before half time, with the better side, they didn't want the half time whistle, and then I thought between start of second half and up to about 65-70 minutes, it was Town again, and it just let Rochdale get a foothold at the end, and it became a bit end to end, and Rochdale enjoyed the better of that, and Rochdale were unlucky at the end. But so it's I was just going to say, Town drawing a blank again. It's 1 goal in 4, like you said, 1 goal in 360 minutes, and that was a worldie. you do have concern, but I don't think there's one specific reason. Yet they created chances that would and could have, should have gone in on another day. So you kind of think, if Morrison's header and Faye put it in and they win 2-0, 2 striker goals, what we're thinking, we're pretty happy. So it's early 3 league games in, and let's see what we're thinking when the final striker comes in, and say this time next week when we've done what's happening up there. But once Town have played Accrington on Tuesday and then Burton here.
Bet you're buzzing
Saturday.
for that trip, aren't you? Accrington.
Yeah.
Tuesday night.
It's not. I've heard they've had a bit of a makeover at the stadium, so hopefully the media facilities have had a facelift.
So we've had 3 league games, the Carabao Cup with the 4-0 exit.
Yeah.
We've got time now to judge this side and see where they may go for the rest of the season. What are your first impressions with this new look Shrewsbury team?
I haven't touched on it yet, this video certainly, but we've said it already. It wasn't Tuesday night, but again today, playing their strongest 11 given the injuries. They're solid. Aaron Pierre, for my money, was probably the best player in blue and amber again, maybe alongside Giles, but Evanks Landau did well again. Beckles coming in, did okay, grew into the game, a couple of wobbly moments, but another clean sheet. That's 2 clean sheets in 3 league games, and then the other league game they got beat by deflection, and a little deflection in a way from 3 clean sheets in 3, and we know the problems at the other end. We've talked about not taking the chances or not being creative enough. They've got it, and Ricketts has said the same there. They've got it sorted at the other end, to be fair, and that base. Alright, take away the 4-0 at Rotherham where he made 8 changes and it was a totally different side against a strong Rotherham team, but that base of the clean sheets is going to serve them well at least, and you would hope, I'm pretty confident it will keep them out of trouble this season. Obviously we know it's a bit of a weird division with the Bury and Bolton situations and whatnot, but listen, I don't think they'll concede many. I certainly hope. The keeper, he's not the biggest and he comes with a big reputation of shot stopping, but they tried to pile in on him today, Rochdale, from corners and that. He got punches on them and Town survived, so tick in the box for him. Another clean sheet. They look solid enough. I don't think we have to be concerned in that department. Obviously with Rochon Williams, one of their other better defenders, coming back from injury, he'll just add to that. Donald Love looks a solid right back, certainly defensively. I think, like I say, solid enough, but if they really want to kick on and make this a good start into the top half, they're going to have to start sorting it out at the other end, because that's not enough goals so far.
0-0 is finished here at the Montgomery Waters Meadow. They travel to Accrington Stanley on Tuesday, followed by a trip to the Meadow here against Burton. For all the reactions to this one, please log on to shropshirestyle.com.